Hello guys, this is Roger69501 and welcome to my channel. Well, on this video I'm gonna give you my thoughts for this new miniseries. Excuse me. It's called Nightwing The New Order. And I have to say that, well, this is issue number 1 from 6. And I have to say that I like the cover because it reminds me those poster from the Cold War era. Kind of like the Nazis used to do to use the Soviet Union back on the Cold War, the 60s, 70s. Kind of like reminds me of one of those propaganda posters where you see the leader standing and the people, well, in this case, the soldiers on the bottom, and you see like a whole line of Batman. Check that out, awesome, man. And the cover says, "Our heroes are humans." So let's go to the story. Okay, the story starts 12 years ago, as we can see here. And we see Nightwing, and that everything is destroyed. And we see people in pain. And then Superman called him. And when you see Superman, you're gonna be surprised. Check that out. Look what happened there. So actually, I don't know if Superman has died or he's dying. I don't know. Check that out. Also, man. So Superman asked Dick Grayson, "What did you do?" And Dick Grayson says, "Well, I'm sorry, Clark. I had to save the world." And this is how we see the whole city of what's left of it. So, and then I believe, which later on the story will explain you what I believe that gun that Dick Grayson had on his hand, what it's about, what was used about, or what the weapon was about, more or less. And then from there we go. I assume that is on the present, where we see older Dick Grayson. Yep, over here. Yeah, that's the older Dick Grayson, which happens to be that he's not Nightwing anymore. Look at that. People remembers him as Nightwing, believe it or not, at least on this story. So he's chasing a guy because he kind of like skipped his meds. And while he's skipping his med, and the guy says, "Look, I stopped taking them because it messes my mind. It makes me dream, make me feel weird." And Nightwing said, "Doesn't matter, you still have to take it. It's the law." I was wondering when I was reading this story. It's kind of like a dystopia world. It's like it is set on the future, but not too far on the future, believe it or not. So a lot of stuff being retconned here from the New 52. Remember when in Forever Evil, I believe so, when Nightwing identity was released to the world, and that's when he decided to become a spy. Well, it's being retconned here, not mentioned directly, but in the sense that, "Oh, you are Nightwing. Can I have your autograph?" So I just put in two together. I don't know if this is happening in the main universe in the not too far future or not. Although it reads a little bit kind of like an Elseworlds. That's what it feels like. Okay, to the story. So we see that finally he apprehends the guy with a couple of Batman on uniform and give it the meds, and the guy goes, well, he went to sleep like a bum. So we see that how we got a picture of the city, and we see the Light Crusaders. So I believe the Batman group is called the Crusaders. So Nightwing belongs to that Crusaders. So we see Nightwing giving his speech about what happened to the reporters, as we can see here. And then this is the moment when we see a kid, well, a teenager, somebody, asking him for to an autograph, and the kid is holding a Nightwing picture. So everybody knows that Nightwing and Dick Grayson are the same person. So that's why I believe that this is connected in the sense with Forever Evil, just at the point where his identity was released to the world. Maybe I'm mistaken, but in my mind it makes sense. Either way, it's okay. So he signed that. So he go back to his headquarters, and they're talking about what happened, that he should not be humping around, jumping off buildings. I said, well, yeah, but I'm not Nightwing, so why you say that I'm jumping off building? And the girl said, well, you are, even though that you don't dress like Nightwing anymore, but you're still doing it. So what's the point? I mean, that's why you have a bunch of crusaders to do your job. You're the boss. You're supposed to be sitting behind the desk, signing up papers. Or at least act like he's doing something. That's what she says. so so from there we get to his office, and then while he's on his office, there's a news report that the let's see that 20,000 gallons of that meth that give to that guy with superpowers on the beginning of the story, well, they have been destroyed. That's about 3 months worth of supplies to keep everybody safe. Now, I'm gonna stop here. So far on the story, what I understood is, besides kind of in a near future dystopia, the thing is that Nightwing, remember the gun that he had on his hand at the beginning? This one here? And why Superman is the way he is? Well, that vaccine, what it does is suppress the powers of our heroes or anybody that has superpowers. It suppresses, making them uh, weak as normal as a human being, as a non-meta-human. So that vaccine, what it does is kills or hold back the meta-human powers. So that's why Superman is the way it is. So I believe that Nightwing used that gun, maybe it was a machine gun, with a bunch of needles, with that vaccine, and he started shooting everybody, and that's how everybody lost their powers, and that's how, well, they end up whatever they end up. Now, Superman looks pretty beat up. I don't know if Superman actually survived that. If he did, well, sheesh. Ouch, I know. And so there's another part of the story that make me think is why Nightwing did what he did. So up to here, I haven't noticed the reason why. I guess that maybe I'm wishing too much, too soon. So then from there we see that Dick Grayson goes to his house, and guess who we find there? Or at least I found there. Look at that. That is Alfred. Now, how old is Alfred? Right now, in the current timeline, he's about what, 60 years old? Maybe 60? So this happened about, maybe put that 30 years, 40 years old. Here, Alfred must have close to 110 years old. Alfred, mortal, give and take, if I'm not mistaken. Look at that. And you see that little kid next to Alfred? Well, that's Nightwing's son. Yep. Nightwing had a son. Well, doesn't have. He have a son. And the thing is that we don't know nothing about his mom or the mother of his son. They do not mention it here. Even though that the kid asks about his mom, he never answered. The thing also is that this whole story is the narration of his son. Nightwing's son is the one who's telling us the story of his father and how the world was back then or how he was growing up. So we see here that he talked to his father. They have a father and son moment. We get to see, I like that we get to see Nightwing as a father now, since we already know how Clark Kent is as a father. Batman with Damian, he's a father. Now we get to see Nightwing as a father. Now it makes me wonder who can be the mother or his wife. Seems like his wife or the mother of his son left him. He just kind of like, okay, bye bye. So it cannot be Barbara Gordon, unless is this alien female that is on the Titans. Starfire, I think her name is Starfire. If not, let me know in the comments. The female alien from the Titans or the Teen Titans. From the last animated movie, Teen Titans, that female alien that happened to be Dick Grayson's girlfriend, that's the one. That's what I believe might be his son's mother. I'm not sure, but that just I believe it's her, and you will know why. Okay, so after he has a father and son moment, we see that he's talking to he get a call from his son's school, so he's talking to his principal, and the principal says, "Look, don't worry about it. All precaution has been taken. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody's seen nothing, and everything's gonna be a secret. So do not worry." So when his father goes to see his son, look, his son says, "I'm sorry," and Dick Grayson says, "Oh my God." His father says, "Oh Jake," and his son says, "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry." Now you know what that means, right? He has superpowers. That's why I believe that the kid's mother is, I think it's Starfire, is his mother. Maybe his mother left Nightwing when he decided to become kind of like a anti-metahuman guy. I don't know. So I was very intrigued by the story. I'm very intrigued to know what's going to happen between his father and his son. What Dick Grayson's going to do now, what he's going to do, or how he's going to deal with his son now that his son has superpowers, or in this case, metahuman. How he got him, I don't know. That's why I believe that, well, his mom is Starfire. I believe her name is Starfire. If not, well, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, so I'm very intrigued to know more about this kind of future dictatorship, between dictatorship world or dystopia world. I will let you know the reason behind why Dick Grayson did what he did. Uh, the art, it was pretty neat. This is done by, I'm gonna tell you the name of the. Okay, the writer is Carl Higgins, and the artist is Trevor McCarthy. Although his art style, I have seen it before, maybe on an image book. I don't know. I know that I did not read it, but maybe I might have seen his work online. Maybe I don't know. What kind of just reminds me of somebody that style. So now the heroes are humans. They are not metahumans. So it seems like there is no more metahumans. So the thing is that the part where 20,000 gallons of that meth got destroyed, his secretary or one of the members of the Crusaders, she said, "Do you believe is Wally West?" And Nightwing says, "Maybe." I think she says Wally. Let me see. Mm, Yep, yep. I read here that they believe that is Wally. So maybe some of the superheroes are on the hiding. So what I believe, well, according, seems that on the first page, Superman is down, Wonder Woman is down, Green Lantern is down, Flash is down, Lex Luthor is down, Captain Cold is down, Shazam, Flash. Only the few I can see here on the page. Oh, even Gorilla Rod. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Look. You can see almost all the almost all the Justice League is down. Even Gorilla Rod. So why he did that? Well, like he says, I did it to save our world. So, Nightwing, The New Order. I'm very intrigued about it. I like it very much. I like this. I'm very intrigued with this dystopia, like I said before. So I would give it 4.5 out of 5 because I was very intrigued by it. And I'm not a very big fan of Nightwing. But with this story, it's nice. It has a new twist. At least it makes me see how he becomes a father and how he's going to deal with his son now that his son is a meta. So I would give this 4.5 out of 5. If you're not reading it, get it. You might like it. Well, guys, this is it. I hope that you like this video. See you later. Bye.